Right now, your credit score is stuck below 700. And what makes that dangerous is this. You might be making every payment on time. You might even be paying down debt, but something inside your credit profile is signaling risk to the scoring model, and you have no idea which side it's coming from. In 37 years of working in this space, I've seen the same two profile types trapped in the 600s. Not because they were behind on payments, because they were playing one game when the system is actually running two games simultaneously. Today, I'm going to show you what the two sides of your credit profile actually are and why the specific threshold on each side is the exact line that separates the 600s from the 700s. Because your credit report isn't one system. It's two completely different measurements evaluated by two completely different rules. And once you see how the scoring model actually reads both sides, you won't be able to unsee it. Stay with me. Now, before we get started today, this is what I want you to do. I want you to like this video, subscribe to this great channel, hit that bell so you know every time I upload great content just like this. Now listen, the advice you've been receiving isn't wrong. It's just incomplete. Pay on time, lower your balances, be patient. That's outcome advice, not system advice. The system never taught you that your credit profile has two separate categories evaluated by two different measurements. That's not an accident. Lenders move faster when you don't understand what they're actually reading. I've worked with people who checked every box. On-time payments, balances going down month by month, and they still couldn't crack 700. This program is sponsored by the release of my latest book, Credit to Wealth in 30 Days. Oh, how to build financial freedom using credit, business, and investing. Listen, you've got to read this. This is a paradigm shift. And this is one you're not going to want to miss it. You're going to want to read it. To get your copy, check the description for this video. Be blessed. They fixed one side of the equation, and the left side was left alone, completely unmanaged. Let me give you the overview first, and then we're going to go side by side. The two sides. Your credit profile has two distinct categories. The installment side, car loans, personal loans, mortgages, fixed payments. You borrow X, you pay Y every month until it's gone. Then the revolving side, credit cards, lines of credit, open-ended, no fixed payoff timeline. The scoring model does not evaluate these two sides the same way. Each side has its own measurement. Each measurement has its own threshold. Same person, same credit report, two completely different systems being evaluated at the same time. I'm going to say that again. Two completely different systems at the same time on the same report. The installment side, the DTI. What the scoring model reads on the installment side is critical. It's not just whether you're paying. It's reading how much of your income is already committed to fixed debt. That measurement is your debt to income ratio. The threshold is under 43% at all times. What DTI is actually asking is this: can this person take on more, or are they already maxed out? $5,000 a month gross income, $2,200 a month in combined installment payments. That's 44% DTI, 1% over the line. The model doesn't care how on time those payments are. It sees a person who has committed too much of their income to debt. That signals risk. Risk signals 600s. Because the truth of the matter is, DTI is not about how well you pay. It's about how much you've already promised to pay. So the pro move is this: don't take on new installment debt without calculating your DTI first. Every new installment line changes your DTI. If you're at 41%, one new car payment could push you to 46%. The model doesn't penalize you for the approval, it penalizes you for the new position. Why 43% is the line? Because below 43%, the scoring model reads you have and you are someone with capacity. Capacity means opportunity. Opportunity means 700 plus. Above 43%, the model reads overextension. Overextension means risk. Risk means the score stalls, or in many cases, falls. Your payment history can be perfect. 0 late payments, never missed a bill, and your DTI can still be keeping you in the 600s, because DTI is not a payment behavior score. It's a capacity signal. The system rewards people who look like they have room. DTI under 43% says, I have room. I have room. Now, stay with me here, because the second side is where I see the most money left on the table. And once you understand why, this one number, and specifically when it's measured, everything changes. You're going to look at your credit card statement completely differently. So let's go. Let's get to the revolving side. When the scoring model reads and what it reads. Now, it's not income versus obligation. It's capacity versus usage. The measurement, credit utilization. How much of your available revolving credit you're currently using. The threshold under 10%, not 30% like the generic advice teaches, 10%. And here's the piece that changes everything. The date that matters is the statement date, not the due date. The statement date is when the credit card company takes its video. This is what they're looking at constantly, freezes the balance, and reports that number to the bureaus. That is the number the scoring model sees, not what you paid later, not your payment history, the balance on the statement date. $10,000 credit limit, statement closes with $1,500 on it. That's 15% utilization over our 10% line. Pay it down to $900 before the statement closes. That's 9% utilization under the line. 700 plus territory. Same dollar behavior, different positioning. And that makes all the difference. Here's the pro move. Pay your balance before the statement close date, not just before the due date. The due date is for avoiding interest and late fees. The statement date is for your credit score. These are not the same event. They are not even the same purpose. Most people are winning the interest game and losing the score game at the same time because nobody told them there are two different dates that mean two completely different things. Why 10% on the statement date? This is important because below 10%, the scoring model reads you as someone who uses credit strategically, not dependently. Above 30%, risk flag. Between 10 and 30%, neutral. Under 10%, strength signal. This is not about spending less. This is about when they take the picture of what you've been doing. The same dollar amount, just timed differently, produces a completely different score impact. The system is not measuring your sacrifice. It's measuring your positioning. Now, you can't afford to ignore either side. If your DTI is over 43%, a clean revolving side doesn't save you. The model sees a person overextended on fixed obligations. No matter how low your utilization is, capacity risk signals the 600s. If your utilization is over 10% on the statement date, a clean installment side doesn't save you. The model sees a person leaning too hard on open credit and the score stalls. This is the exact reason people do everything right, every payment, every balance pay down, and still can't break 700. They fixed one side and left the other one exposed. Both sides have to be in position at the same time. That's the system. Here's what I want you to take with you. Your credit profile is not one system trying to reach one number. It is two separate systems running simultaneously, each with its own measurement, its own threshold, and its own signal to the scoring model. Most people treat credit like one score they're trying to push upward. And that is exactly why they work so hard, feel like nothing is moving, and eventually stop believing it's even possible. But when you understand both sides, when you know that DTI under 43% on the installment side and utilization under 10% on the statement date on the revolving side are the two levers, 700 plus stops being a goal you're chasing. It becomes a position you're building. Same person, same habits, but different positioning. And trust me, it makes all the difference. You see, this is what we do in the CBLF blueprint. Now, if you want to understand how to actually manage both sides, how to time your payments around statement dates, how to restructure installment load without damaging your score, how to keep both thresholds in position while still using credit to build your business or to build your life, that's exactly what we walk you through in the CBL Wealth Blueprint. But right now, I need you to own the system first, because the execution only works when you understand that what and that why. Very important. So here's the question that I want you to look for in the comments. Which side are you working on right now? Installment or revolving? Drop it below, because your answer might tell you everything about why your score is exactly where it is. And do me a favor real quick, subscribe to this great channel, hit that like button, because we want many people to see this, so they're also on top of this information just like you. Now, my friends, I want you to be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you again right here. Be blessed.